Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show, we're going to give you a rundown of the biggest political stories of 2024. Hope you're going to enjoy them. But we're going to give you a rundown. Biggest political stories of 2024. Today, on the Vince Everett Ellison Show. All right, let's get this thing started. You know, man, 2024 was something special. Like I told you before, I've seen a lot of things in my time. I have seen a lot of messed up stuff in my time. I worked in the penitentiary. I've seen murders. I've seen stabbings. I've seen jokers get to fighting because somebody scuffed a shoe. But 2024 will go down in history. It's probably the craziest political year since Abraham Lincoln's election in 1860. Why? Well, the demise of the Democratic Party was so complete, I really do believe that it was fitting that the greatest Democrat, I believe that the Democrats believe in history, just passed away at the end of the year, and that was Jimmy Carter. Jimmy Carter couldn't take it. It'll be 100 years, and the Democrats had imploded so terribly. Jimmy Carter said, "Just let me go home." That's how bad the Democrats are now. I mean, you know, people are crying about this and that. American institutions have started falling apart because of the Democratic Party becoming a hip hop party. They're talking about the NBA has lost 48% of its viewership in the past few years. They're trying to figure out why. Hell, I can tell you why. Every time you watch it, it looks like a jailbreak. Bunch of tatted up thugs running up and down the basketball court, fighting and raising hell. Nobody wants to see that. Man, when I was growing up watching the NBA with Dr. J and all those guys, you could look at your son and say, "I want you to be like that guy right there, Larry Bird." Now, every time you watch it, it looks like it's Thug Alley. Nobody wants to see it. That's the Democrat Party. Thugs, hoes, and rappers. Perverts, liars, psychopaths, and anti-Christian bigots in America finally had enough. So let's go back and let's see what happened over 2024. Because I'm going to tell you, I had the best time of my life watching everything that was going on because I knew how it was going to end. I told you that the Democrats were done. I got it on video, man. I told you months ago. I told Tucker Carlson 2 years ago they were done. I told you they were going to go down and that the black vote was going to do it. Black men was going to take them down. I told you. How did I know? Because I know the American people, and I know that they're not evil like the Democratic Party is. So let's go back. We ain't got to go back far. You know, we don't have to deal with the first 6 months of the year. They were just a bunch of Republicans out there, fighting each other, acting ignorant. Nikki Haley and all of them. Tim Scott. They didn't even make any noise. They put a dent into Trump. And Trump just sat back and watched them all kill themselves. And then he just got the nomination. So that was nothing. But boy, the crap hit the fan on June 27th, 2024. What happened on June 27th, 2024? Joe Biden and Donald Trump had their first debate. And we've been telling people for the last 4 years that Joe Biden was crazy as hell. Oh, they all lying. Oh, Joe Biden's fine. Joe Biden's fine. Oh, Joe Biden is the smartest president ever. Oh, Joe Biden got all his faculties. Then Joe Biden stepped in front of the camera. And he was exposed in front of the whole world. It was like, I didn't like Joe Biden and I felt sorry for him. I was sitting there and I was saying, Lord have mercy, the whole world is watching this. Everybody from the Congo to Switzerland is watching the United States of America's president. And it is being revealed that this man is senile. Putin is watching it. Xi Jinping is watching it. Everybody's watching it. And the next day, what did the press try to do? They tried to gaslight us. Tell us, Joe Biden's fine. Nothing's wrong with it. And let me tell you how it's such a sad state of affairs. Joe Biden said, I ain't going nowhere. I ain't going nowhere. I'm running. God got to come down and tell me not to run. I'm running. All the politicians couldn't get Joe to run. Nobody get Joe not to run. Guess who got Joe Biden not to run? George Clooney. Y'all think I'm lying, don't you? George Clooney does an op-ed, thanking the New York Times, a Hollywood guy, not a statesman, not a judge, a pervert from Hollywood. He does that, and Joe Biden steps down. That shows you who runs the Democratic Party. Those bunch of perverts, liars, psychopaths, anti-Christian bigots out of Los Angeles. Wrote one op-ed, and the President of the United States of America had stepped down. That's a story. And Kamala Harris is waiting in the wings with the bloody knife in her hand, having stabbed Joe Biden straight in the back. So what happened after that? Before Joe stepped down, they tried to kill Trump. Trump giving a speech on a nice, beautiful day in July. Next thing you know, Trump turns his head and a bullet hits his ear. Had it been for that, Trump would have been dead. Joe Biden hadn't gone anywhere yet. Tried to kill Trump. My. Trump survives. Not only does Trump survive, Trump spits out the bullet like a Terminator. Stands up with the American flag flying behind him. Blood coming down his face. And while the assassin is still up there with the gun, Trump stands there and starts hollering, fight, 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 fight. Game was over. Everybody in the world looked at that and said that is a stone cold leader. That's a stone cold man right there. And the thing that they tried to do for evil ended up being for good. It became iconic. What they meant for evil, God meant for good. Isn't that ironic? But man, it's sure enough poetic. A few days later, Joe Biden set up in the Oval Office like a cadaver, saying for the good of the country, he's going to step down. They took their shot. They missed. Somebody had to go. If Trump didn't die, Joe was going to die. And Joe took the hit. And Kamala Harris sitting in the wings. Boy, you talking about a conniving woman. And here comes Kamala. Let me tell y'all something. Don't y'all sleep on Kamala. As I told you before, the girl got moved now. She used them all while she was in San Francisco. You ask Willie Brown. She had Willie Brown doing anything she wanted him to do. Willie, what you want, baby? I got what? Kamala could get anything she wants. She didn't get married until she was 50. Kamala Harris had work to do. And from what I was hearing, she was working. And it made sense to me because, as I said before, y'all heard me say this in my other shows. When I saw that she was comfortable around hoes, you know? Because me, those women make me nervous, man. I can't be around a woman with her chest all out and twerking and shaking and body parts all out. When I see a woman like that, I just turn around and walk off. And get away from a woman like that. I know, she just walked right up to him. Hey, how y'all doing? She understands them very well because, like this, you know, in her young life, she was one of them. She was a hoe. I mean, that's what Joe Brown says she was a hoe, and a lot of people say so. Don't get mad at me. So Kamala comes out, and because Kamala Harris has been told from her time at Howard University and from her time in San Francisco, probably the most immoral city in America, that black people like twerking and thugs and rappers. She comes to Atlanta and she got Megan Thee Stallion on the stage twerking and shaking. That's the third big story. Kamala Harris turns the Democrat Party into the Diddycrat Party. That's when it made its turn. 4 years before Joe Biden didn't have all that kind of crap going on in the Democrat Party convention. But the thugs and rappers and hoes up there on the deck stage doing that kind of stuff. The Democratic Party was still that old party of a bunch of racists and ignorant rabble. That's what Joe Biden, and his crew. And Joe Biden almost 100 years old. That's who he used to hang out with. That was his crew. Those low-down, old, dirty Dixiecrats. They still had a hold on it. But when Kamala got it, oh, no, no, no. It became the Diddycrat Party. Jay-Z, P. Diddy, Offset. Offset gave a speech at Kamala. Offset. Offset, I didn't know Offset could read. But Offset gave a speech at one of Kamala Harris's events. And everywhere you saw, she had a bunch of thugs and rappers just all around her all the time. This was the day that the Democratic Party became the Diddycrat Party. And it ain't no turning back, y'all. The inmates have got a hold of their asylum. The thugs, rappers, and hoes have spent a little bit of power. And these ignoramuses still think that they lost the election because they didn't talk enough to the working man. Oh, you talked to him, all right. You told him you're going to use the public education system to transition his children. He wanted to educate them. Yeah, you talked to him. He seen a bunch of criminals in his neighborhood kicking indoors, selling dope, fighting and raising hell. And you say you're going to defund the police and take his gun away. Yeah, you talked to him. He seen illegals coming over the border, raising rents, burning people up on the subway, raping and killing people in the parks. He wants it stopped. And you say, what you talking about? Ain't even no crisis at the border. Yeah, you talked to him. He saw that under Trump, between Trump and Biden, to under Biden, he's spending $1,400 more a month than he did under Trump. And you told him Bidenomics is doing fine. You talked to him. And he listened very well. You told him that you were going to use federal money to give his children sex change operations. You told him you were going to change Title IX so that a dude that looked like me can go into the locker room with his daughter and shower with her and play sports with her. You talked to the working man very clearly. And he said, the hell with y'all. And here's the thing, y'all. These people control the Democratic Party now. Working man. Price of gasoline's too high. With the climate change, people say that we got to shut down the drilling. Who you think the Democrats listen to, the working man or the climate change people? You got it. Climate change. If you fill your gas up fill your car with gas, you can't eat that week. If you eat that week, you can't fill your car with gas. Yeah, the Democrats. But see, these people are insulated from the decisions that they have to make. They got money. They living in Los Angeles and they living in Manhattan. They're worried about the climate. And you worried about going to work in the morning. The Democrats. Third big story was when the Democrats transformed into the Democrats. Fourth one. Trump confronted Harris about not being black. Man, that's my favorite one. I'm going to tell y'all the truth. I can't lie to you. I had thought, since I saw Kamala Harris, that Kamala Harris was black. Why would I think that, y'all? Because that's what I read, and that's what people said. And most of the time in America, every now and again you'll find some idiot and some fool they'll try to pass as something that they're not. When most people in the public eye don't try to do stuff like that. I mean, most people, they're just, they probably who they are. Ain't no big deal. In America, we don't care about that anymore. You're Asian, you're Jewish, you're black, you're white, you're white. It's cool. I mean, really, most people will just say, oh, yeah, it's cool. Somehow or another, Kamala Harris didn't get the memo on that. She thought it'd be a smart idea to lie about her race. Kamala Harris says, I'm going to be the first black female president. And you know how black folks are, especially black Democrats. When it comes down to color, that's all they see. You black and a Democrat, you got my vote. What if you're a murderer? Don't care. Rapist? Don't care. Whoop this mama down on Main Street? Don't care. Sell dope, burn up stuff, got 15, 20 babies around the city you ain't taking care of? Is he black and he a Democrat? Yes. I don't need to hear nothing else. Kamala knew that. Kamala knew she needed 90% of the black vote. And they knew that Joe Biden was bleeding black votes. They looked at a poll and Joe Biden was like somewhere around 6% of the black vote. They said, man, we can't survive with this. So Kamala Harris gonna come out and lie and say she black, say, well, it worked for Barack Obama, it'll work for me. And I think most of the Democrats thought she was black too. And then here come Donald Trump. No Republican got enough nerve to do what Donald Trump did. You know why? Because I don't think one has even stood up and reiterated what Trump has said. I can't think of one that says, you know what? She got up and lied about being black. I can't think of one that did it. If y'all can think of one, please put it in the comment section because I can't think of one. Trump gets up and says, well, I've known her for a pretty long time. And up until about 2 or 3 years ago, she says she's Indian. Now all of a sudden, she says she's black. And a lot of black people said, what? And started checking. And said, well, I will be. This heifer done walked around talking about she's Indian for the last. Red dot. Going on TV saying she's the first Indian American in Senate. And people started checking. Her numbers in the black community started bleeding. It was a masterstroke. Because even though it didn't matter too much to white folks about that, to a lot of black people, it mattered. And you'll be amazed how many black people still didn't get the memo that she had lied about it. You can tell a lot of them right now, you know she lied about being black. What? Don't watch the news, don't know anything. Don't watch the news, don't read newspapers. All they do is listen to Steve Harvey, or Ricky Smiley on the radio. That's their information. But Donald Trump pulled out that missive, and if she wasn't done before, she was done then. She's a dead woman walking. She didn't even know it. And then when they asked her about it, show you that she wasn't black. She said, "Oh, it's just being divisive." That's that. Told it right there. Told it right there. So that's the number 5 big story. Donald Trump confronting Kamala Harris about not being black. Number 6. The number 6 biggest story. I hope y'all didn't miss this because I didn't miss it. I've been telling the Republicans for years. I've been telling them stupid suckers I've been telling them. I said, y'all so freaking ignorant. This is a low-hanging fruit, man. LGBTQ has a visceral effect on most men. If you let these guys know that you're going to use the federal government for sex change operations and that these people are trying to sexualize your children, men going to turn against it. Most men don't know that the Democratic Party is behind this crap. If you just let them know, the men going to turn from the Democratic Party. I don't give a damn on what they stand for. Men are not going to tolerate it. Not real men. Now, punk men will. Beta males will. But most alpha males, hell no, they ain't going to deal with that. Finally, Trump them listened. And Trump came out with that commercial with Kamala Harris sitting beside the man in the dress. They say he's transgender. I didn't check his equipment. I don't know. All I know is he's a man in the dress. Telling him that she was going to fix it, but the federal government was going to give sex change operations to men in prison and to illegals. And every real man that saw it, they said, what? And he did it, showing it on NFL football. And when I saw that, I said, they finally learned it. Just tell the truth, man. You didn't lie on her. She's sitting there telling the dude this. Well, she loved to be around men in dresses. And then she had an ugly husband of hers, Emma. Every time I saw Emma, I wanted to just beat the hell out of him, man. He just made me sick. Second husband. I mean, ain't nobody got no problem with no racial marriage in the United States of America. Now, I mean, it's fine, it's cool. Emma was just a punk, man. Like I said, she gonna marry the dude. All right, that's cool. Y'all got married. Ain't gonna take his name. Can't or won't have him any children. Won't practice his religion. But gonna spend all his damn money. That ain't gonna work with me, player. Nope. You could at least take the man's name. Hell, you could at least go to the synagogue with it. I ain't gonna take your name. I'm not gonna go to the synagogue. I'm not gonna have you no children. Give me the checkbook. Here you go. If Emma was my brother, I'd have beat the hell out of him. I'd have slapped him and put him in rehab. But that's what they. Oh, and then boy, the white dudes for Biden. I mean, the white dudes for Harris. He would have been. He was the charter member. I wonder where they at now. But they're sitting around crying. They ain't drinking liquor because they ain't showing them to drink no bourbon. What they drink? Drinking lattes with their little fingers up. What we're going to do? We're going to be so soft. So we're oppressing black people, and we need the government to make us stop oppressing them. DEI, diversity, equity, and inclusion. It's a shame to even say that I need a government program to compete with them parts. I need a government program to compete with you. I ain't lost your mind. And I go around America and I go on college campuses and there are actually young black people that are 18, 19, 20, 24 years old still trying to convince America that they're inferior. You know what I tell them? I say, you know what, if you think you're inferior, you're right. Democratic Party of slaves looking for masters and masters looking for slaves. The DNC got a dating app where they find each other. And the white Democrat says, we're oppressing you. And the black Democrat says, yes, you are. And so they say, well, white Democrat, why don't you stop oppressing me? Well, we need a government program first. And if you get a government program, we white Democrats will stop oppressing you. Okay, then let's go march and get one passed. Isn't that the stupidest thing you ever heard in your life? That's them. So Kamala Harris promising sex change operations to grown men in the penitentiary. So that then these grown men can go to the women's penitentiary and rape women in the women's penitentiary. Number 7 biggest story. Donald Trump wins. I was invited to Fort Lauderdale to be with Patrick Bet David. Great man, great gentleman, great story. Came here from Iran. He was 12 years old. And didn't believe the lie about the racism in America. And Patrick is extraordinarily rich. There's this guy that just believes. He's a guy that's infectious when you're around him. And so he invited me down to be on the panel with Candace Owens and a few more people on election night. We were there at 3 a.m. with thousands of other people. And it was just a great experience. And I had no doubt at the beginning of that night that Donald Trump was going to win. I've been saying it all year that the Democrats were done. And it was a landslide. Beat them bad. And the whole world turned around and said, oh my God, what has happened? You know what happened? I'll tell you what happened. Americans took control. MSNBC, CNN, NBC, ABC, and all the rest of them were done. Podcasters like me, podcasters like us, Rogan. They think they hurt Tucker when they fired him from Fox. Man, they unleashed him. Tucker has more views now than Fox, MSNBC, and CNN combined. Yes. He's an animal now. He's a conglomerate. Much larger than it ever been. Patrick Bet David offered Tucker $100 million to come with him. Tucker said, nah, man, that's all right. I'm making more than that now. Yeah. That's what Tucker's doing. It didn't hurt Tucker. Joe Rogan. And so Trump says, I don't have to go to you people anymore. The GOP don't have to go to those MSNBC, CNN people anymore. We don't listen to them any longer. And they started seeing their numbers just go down. They started seeing they were getting like 200,000 viewers a day. Where are all the viewers going? Tucker, Rogan, me, April Chapman, and others out there. Not asking permission. Getting on a microphone, telling the truth. It's almost like when Ben Franklin just got his printing press and started printing. Then ask permission. That's where the power comes from. When you go into the town square and you get yourself a bullhorn and you just start talking. Yeah, that's what this is. Not asking permission. That's what John Adams did. That's what Ben Franklin did. That's what Thomas Paine did when he wrote Common Sense. It's what Jefferson did when he wrote the Declaration of Independence. Yeah, we stopped asking permission. And we started telling the American people who these guys were. The GOP wouldn't do it. I started coming out saying they were the evilest institution in the history of the world. Party of slavery from 1800 to 1860. The Party of the Confederacy from 1860 to 1865. The Party of Jim Crow from 1865 to 1965. Now the Party of transgenderism. The Party of atheism. The Party of killing and murdering children up to the 9th month. An evil institution. All they do is meditate on blood. And people started checking. I said, check my work. And nobody could find a flaw in it. And said, oh my God. Found that the Nazi Party, what is Nazism? I'll tell you what it is. Nazism is using the government to elevate one race over all others. In Nazi Germany, what was that race? The Aryan race. They used the government of Germany to elevate the Aryans over all others. And they used it to subjugate the Jews and destroy them. The Democrat Party had been doing that for 200 years in America. The Nazis only did it for 20. If the Nazis were evil for doing it, why weren't the Democrats evil for doing it for 200? And we killed the Nazis in 1945. The Democrats were just getting started in 1945. They put it in the overdrive after 1970. They've killed 20 million black babies since then. 65 million in all. Yeah, they're a party of perverts, murderers, and liars. And America's tired of them. Want to talk about how bad the Nazis were and how bad Hitler was. And you give the Democratic Party a pass. When the Nazis came over in the 1920s to talk to the Democrats about how did you subjugate black people like you've done because you want to do the same thing to the Jews. And the Democrats gave them their template. Yeah, read my book, 25 Lies. I got it all written down. All of it documented. The evilest institution in the history of the world. And we beat them. And if I got anything to say about it, they ain't gonna never rise again. And this is the last big story of 2024. The fall of Barack and Big Mike, the DNC, and the rise of the black male vote in America. The black male vote, like I told you, took out the Democrat Party. How did it work? When Barack Obama and Big Mike came out and told black people, you better vote for the Democratic Party because we told you to, because Kamala Harris is black. And I'm going to tell you, I saw some brothers go off on the internet and they said some cuss words, penitentiary cuss words on Barack Obama. I mean, them brothers off. I can't even show you what they said. Oh, he was done after that. Don't come stick his little skinny finger in these people's faces. And then Big Mike gonna come back there and say, do it because she a woman. They say, what can you, how come, what you talking about? You ain't a woman, how you gonna tell somebody else to do it? Because she a woman. Y'all don't even know what a woman is. Supreme Court Justice Ketanji Brown Jackson. They asked a simple question. Can you tell me what a woman is? I'm not a biologist. This very same party said men can have babies. So the fall of Barack and Big Mike might be the biggest story of 2024. Because you're talking about a couple of, they were a menace. I mean, just a stone cold menace. Every time I saw them, I just want to just go in the bathroom and vomit. That's why they make me so sick. Just thought they had so much clout to go in and just tell people what to do, and people just do what they tell them to do, you know. Then they gonna go back to the Hamptons and hang out with Clooney and the rest of these bunch of trust fund babies with money and the movie stars. Then when it comes time to leave and come down to talk to the Rubes, they go down and they wave like they're the king and queen of England and tell you what to do. And you say, yeah, yes, sir, boss. Oh, they turned y'all this time. Yep. The Democrats were beaten because the black male vote said we tired of y'all and we are done with you, period. And this is just the beginning, y'all. The DNC is in disarray. Young black men are leaving. You know why? Because young black men are not a pack of perverts. They're not a pack of liars. They're not a pack of anti-Christian bigots. They don't want to see their children sexualized. They want to live the American dream. They don't believe they're inferior. They don't believe they need a government program to compete. They don't believe that. They don't believe the lie that you've been telling. You know why? Because we're out there telling them the truth. You can have anything you want in America. Be anything you want in America. If you want to go out there and apply yourself and live a virtuous life, people will look at you and they'll notice that you're black, but no sane American will hold that against you. If he does, he's crazy. He's insane. And he's not worth your time. You don't want to work for him. If you find out he's a racist, say, I don't want to work for him. Don't march to work for a racist. I want to know if you're a racist. I don't want to work for you. If you don't want me to come eat at your restaurant, please let me know because I can take my money somewhere else. I'm not going to try to march or eat at your restaurant so you can spit in my food and give it to me. You know, hell no. I'm going to fight to give you my money. That's how these young men think. They don't think like old black people think that everything that's mostly black is bad, that every white person is a racist, that America is a systemically racist country. It's a lie. And the Democratic Party tried to propagate that lie. And they were put on their backs. And it has been a good year. It has been a happy year. And I'm going to tell you something, y'all. I want to thank you all. This is New Year's Eve. I want to thank you all for what you've done this year. We've changed the world. We've changed the trajectory of this country. And it was you that did it. The work is not finished. We won a big battle in the fight. Now, we have to run down the army and we must destroy it. That's the plan in 2025. To destroy that army of demons and liars and satanic people and send America back on the trajectory of goodness, virtue, and God. And the only people that can do that are the people of the United States of America. It ain't gonna come from the Republican Party. And damn sure ain't gonna come from the Democratic Party. It's gonna come from the people. The government reflects the people. If you have a virtuous people, you have a virtuous government. We have to be virtuous. What did John Adams say? Our Constitution is designed for a moral and religious people. It is highly inadequate for any other. You cannot have freedom without virtue. And the Democratic Party is a virtueless party. But the American people are people of extreme virtue. Let us reflect that in our vote. Let us reflect that in how we live our lives. Let us reflect that in 2025. And I want to thank you for all you've done for me, all you've done for this podcast. And we're going to expand it and make it larger in 2025. We're going to be putting out content every day in 2025, y'all. Y'all don't get tired of seeing me. It's going to be a lot to talk about, and we're going to rock it. I'm going to have a ball. Get ready. Hold on to something, because we're going for a ride. With that, go to my website, vincespeakstruths.com. You'll find all my wares. You'll find my books. You will find my great documentary, Will You Go to Hell for Me? You'll find it all. You'll find T-shirts. You'll find caps. But I want to thank you for this great year. I want to thank you for everything. And I want you to know, and I hope that this year, and I want you to know that next year, that I'm here to wake you up. Hope I did you some good today. So join me again next year for another edition of the Vince Everett Ellison Show.